Hi children, we continue with our fourth chapter, materials, metals and non-metals. Today we move on to the last topic of this chapter, corrosion. The term corrosion may not be familiar to you. Actually, it is a process in which corrosion is a process in which metals are slowly eaten away when exposed to moist air for a long time. So, corrosion is a process in which metals are slowly eaten away when exposed to moist air for a long period of time. What do you mean by eaten away? Eaten away means destroyed. So, it is a process in which metals are slowly destroyed when it is exposed to moist air for a long period of time. Process in which metals are slowly eaten away when exposed to moist air for a long period of time. First example is rusting of iron. This we have learned in 7th standard. What is rusting? Iron objects when exposed to moist air for a long period of time, a reddish brown coating of a reddish brown substance is formed on the surface of iron objects. When iron objects made up of iron are exposed to moist air for a long period of time, a reddish brown coating is formed on their surface. The coating is called rust and the phenomenon is known as rusting of iron. So, this is the first and the most important example of corrosion. Iron objects when exposed to moist air for a long period of time, they develop a reddish brown colored coating on their surface. This coating is known as rust and the phenomenon is known as rusting of iron. The equation can be written as iron plus oxygen. This also we have learned in 7th standard. Iron plus oxygen plus water. Both oxygen and water or water vapor from air. What you get is hydrated iron oxide, which we call as rust. So, the chemical name of rust is hydrated iron oxide. So, this is the equation of rusting. So, rusting is formation of a reddish brown coating on the surface of objects made of iron when they are exposed to moist air for a long period of time. Equation is iron plus oxygen plus water, both from air. You get hydrated iron oxide, which is commonly known as rust. Second example is copper objects made of copper. So, example 2, copper when exposed to moist air for a long period of time, it reacts with oxygen, water and carbon dioxide. All these are components of air. From air, what you get is a mixture of copper carbonate and copper hydroxide. So, copper objects react with oxygen, water and carbon dioxide from the air and you get a mixture of copper carbonate and copper hydroxide, which we call as basic copper carbonate. This is obtained as a green coating on copper objects. You get basic copper carbonate, which is obtained as a green coating. So, copper objects when exposed to moist air for a long time develops a green coating on their surface. This phenomenon is known as, we call this phenomenon as tarnishing. In the case of iron, we call it as rusting. Here we call it as tarnishing. So, what happens in tarnishing? Copper reacts with oxygen, water and carbon dioxide from air to form a mixture of copper hydroxide and copper carbonate, which is known as basic copper carbonate. Mixture of copper carbonate and copper hydroxide is known as basic copper carbonate. It is obtained as a green coating. Then third example is, the name of the phenomenon is again tarnishing. Here the equation you need not learn, tarnishing of silver. We all are familiar with silver ornaments like silver chains, earrings, anklets, etc. So when they are exposed to polluted air for long time, a black coating can be seen on their surface. A black coating can be seen on their surface. So this phenomenon is known as tarnishing of silver. Okay, so all these are three examples of corrosion. So what is corrosion? It is a process in which metals are slowly eaten away when exposed to moist air for a long time. Slowly eaten away or destroyed. Actually, this corrosion results in wastage of metal, destruction of the metal. Example is rusting of iron, where a reddish brown coating is formed on objects made of iron on exposure to moist air for a long period of time. What is rust actually? Hydrated iron oxide. Iron plus oxygen plus water gives hydrated iron oxide or rust. Then copper. Second example is copper when exposed to moist air. It reacts with oxygen, water and carbon dioxide from the air to form a mixture of copper carbonate and copper hydroxide, which we call as basic copper carbonate, and it is obtained as a green coating on the surface of copper objects. This phenomenon is known as tarnishing of copper. Third example is tarnishing of silver, where silver ornaments when exposed to polluted air for a long period of time develops a black coating on their surface. This is tarnishing of silver. Okay, so that's about corrosion. Now we will see uses of metals. What are the uses of metals? So far we have been discussing the physical and chemical properties of metals. Now what are the uses of metals? Examples of metals I gave you like iron, copper, aluminium, gold, silver, etc. So what are the uses of metals? Metals are used in the metals are used to make automobiles, then satellites, machinery, industrial gadgets, water boilers. So many uses are there. Then trains, aeroplanes, etc. So metals are used to make automobiles, trains, aeroplanes, then machinery, industrial gadgets, satellites, etc. water boilers, etc. Now uses of non-metals. Uses of non-metals. First one, oxygen. What is the use of oxygen? Oxygen is a non-metal which is essential for our life. We all inhale oxygen during breathing process. So oxygen is a non-metal which is essential for our life. All living forms inhale oxygen during breathing. Then nitrogen. Nitrogen is used in fertilizers to enhance the growth of plants. Nitrogen is a non-metal which is used in fertilizers to enhance the growth of plants. Then chlorine, another non-metal, chlorine. It is used in water purification process. Chlorine is a non-metal which is used in water purification process. Then iodine is used in the purple color liquid. Iodine is used in the purple colored liquid which is used as antiseptic. So it is used in the purple colored liquid which is applied on wounds as an antiseptic. You all might be familiar with betadine, the betadine lotion which we apply on wounds. It is actually iodine. Iodine is a non-metal present in betadine. Okay, so this purple colored liquid which is applied on wounds as antiseptic is betadine. Iodine is the main component of betadine. So it is used in the making of purple colored liquid which is used applied on wounds as an antiseptic. It is iodine. And next one is the last one, phosphorus. It is used in crackers. Phosphorus is a non-metal which is used in crackers. So, uses of non-metals. Oxygen is a non-metal which is essential for our life. It is all of us inhale oxygen during breathing. Then nitrogen is used in fertilizers to enhance the growth of plants. Then third one is chlorine, which is used in water purification process. Iodine is used in the purple colored liquid which is applied on wounds as an antiseptic. And the last one is phosphorus, the non-metal used in crackers. So, that is all, and with that fourth chapter, metals and non-metals, is over. Thank you, children.